Hello, and I extend a very, very warm welcome to all of you this rainy afternoon. None of us predicted this, but we have all battled and come here for a wonderful session. And I hope it is as wonderful as we expected and planned it for you, right? So, thank you very much, and let's move on with the evening. This afternoon, we come together to celebrate the power of community, the beauty of meaningful connections, the incredible strength of women supporting women. That's very important for us at Femina. You know, women supporting women. You are all here. Earlier today, I saw you all taking pictures with one another, asking whoever you could. We all do that, right? Please take a picture for us. Please take a picture for us. We really need to be each other's supporter, and that is our endeavor here with Femina Circle. For over 65 years, Femina, India's foremost women's brand, has amplified voices and sparked conversations on empowerment, innovation, and excellence. At its core, Femina stands by the transformative power of women uniting, inspiring, and uplifting one another. Femina is a flagship brand of worldwide media from the Times Group, led by the visionary Mr. Vineet Jain. Worldwide media has set benchmarks in storytelling, housing iconic brands such as Femina, Filmfare, Grazia, and Good Homes India. Femina Circle, of which you all are an intrinsic part, is designed for women seeking to network with like-minded individuals, to expand their social circles and find a sense of community. With Femina Circle, each of you enjoy the opportunity to network, find like-minded individuals, and expand your social circles. Find your sense of community within this community. We want you to count it as an exclusive space to voice your opinions, to connect, to grow, and to thrive together. This is the second event for Femina Circle, and we promise you it will be as riveting as the first. And for that, to get you a little bit more in the mood, little bit excited, we have a wonderful giveaway today. We have some exquisite accessories by Sheetal Creations. So for those of you who are lucky to find it under your seat, are the ones who are the winners. So if you want to take a moment and quickly look under your seat, if you have something placed there and you are one of those people. Yes, we have one. Please stand. Please, we'll put your hands together. You have one too, right? No? Okay, two. Great, wonderful, and three. Thank you. Lovely. Congratulations on to all our winners. Hopefully, you enjoy these pieces, wear them proudly, and may they be a memory of this event that we had here in Pune on a rainy afternoon. Now, today, we're happy to be here at the Game Palacio, a fitting venue to meet our very dynamic guests this afternoon. If there were a multi-hyphenate, before the term even became a thing, it would perfectly fit our esteemed guest this afternoon. With a career spanning 30 years, she has made her mark across television, films, sports presentation, and reality shows. An actor, anchor, author, and fitness enthusiast, she embodies versatility and passion. Her journey is a testament to her talent and resilience. Please welcome our wonderful guest for this afternoon, Mandira Bedi.
Thank you. Do I also look underneath my chair for something for me, like a goodie bag for me? Where's the jewelry for me?
Well, if only all of us had such luck.
Thank you.
We
thank
are
you
lucky in having you.
Thank you for your kind words, Shraddha. Thank you, and thank you to all of you. My gosh, this is a crazy rainy day, and it must have taken a lot of effort and energy to, leave your homes and come here. And I'm so very grateful that you're here. Thank you for being here. It is. It is my pleasure and privilege being here, Shraddha.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Mandira, we've known you and we've loved you for many, many years. We know you as Shanti. You came into all our homes on afternoons as Shanti. We can't forget that. And you stayed very close to our hearts with your integral role in the cricketing world. And you've been very much in our line of sight as an activist, as an author, a fashion designer, and of course, someone who inspires us, not only inspires us, actually cajoles us into fitness. May I say again how privileged we are and happy we are to have you with us today. What do you say, ladies?
What I would like to say before we begin and before you start asking me questions, I do want to say I've had a lovely, long relationship with Femina. I've been on the cover of Femina. And, you know, Femina is the quintessential women's magazine. It was there before anyone else. It's the OG. So it always feels nice. You know, whenever I do anything connected with Femina, it feels like it's coming home. And, you know, there's a certain kind of trust and there's certain kind of values that Femina stands for. And that's what brings me here. Thank you.
Yes, it's so heartening to hear this from you. It's very, very heartening because we strive and we work. But when something like this happens and then the talk of legacy happens, that's what we think that, yes, this is what we're working for and this is what we're working towards. You ladies can also, you guys can make your legacy as well as we go along with one another here. That is also one of the purposes of the circle. So, shall we dive in now then?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, of all the major roles that you've played in your life, actor, anchor, author, fitness enthusiast, which is the one that has challenged you the most and why?
Well, you know, everything comes with its own set of challenges. I was never trained to be an actor. So, Shanti, the first ever show that I did, also the first ever show on Indian television to be daily, 5 days a week in the afternoon. Prior to that, there used to be something called Countrywide Classroom or Krishi Darshan.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no fiction in the afternoon, and then Shanti came along, and people used to watch it, and they enjoyed it, and it was the first of its kind. And then for me too, being in front of the camera was never one of my, you know, lifelong dreams or any of that. You look at some young girls, and you can tell from when they're little that they want to grow up and be a model or an actress. I was not one of those people, not at all. So, I mean, it happened by chance. I was seen somewhere and somebody asked me to come for an audition, and I did 3 auditions, and 3 auditions later, Shanti happened. Was that challenging? Very challenging, because it was the first time I was in front of a camera. You know, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you see yourself in a certain angle. But when a camera looks at you, it looks at you from a different angle, which you've never seen. And when I looked at myself for the first time on that playback monitor when I played Shanti, I was like, she looks like E.T. She doesn't look like a human being. I couldn't understand what people saw in me, and I was like, okay, well, somebody saw something, and here I am, and I'm very grateful. So Shanti was lovely, and I learned a lot on the job. It was very challenging, of course, because it was something new for me, and it was 5 days a week. 5 days a week means we had to come up with that much material.
And content. Yes.
Every single day, it was like a job. 24, 25 days a month, I would shoot for it.
And this was pre-Instagram.
Yes, this was pre-Instagram days. This was pre-everything days. This was before all these channels that we see now. There was Doordarshan, and there was Star Plus.
Yes.
And Star Plus used to have all the international shows. All those fancy international shows. We used to watch Bold and Beautiful and what was it called? The other one?
No, Santa Barbara.
Santa
and
Barbara.
Dynasty.
See, you and I are from the same vintage, so you know.
This morning I have told someone the same thing, that Star Plus was the one
That
with
was
international
it.
film.
There was Doordarshan, and there was Star Plus with Santa Barbara and Bold and Beautiful, and Z had just kind of made its made its entry in, and that was it. So that's when I started. I started it another 31 years ago. So it was very challenging, and we did a 3-camera setup. So we do it pretty much like theatre.
Yeah.
So there'd be one camera here, one camera there, and one camera on the mid shot, and we'd shoot the entire scene like theatre. So it was a good grounding. It was a good foundation for me.
Lovely.
And I didn't know how long last in this business of entertainment, but it was a great starting point for me. Cricket also was something I was pushed into the deep end. It was, literally sink or swim. And, you can love cricket, but when you're put on a panel with, three legends on your left and four experts on your right, and you have to talk about cricket, that's another whole cup of tea altogether. You have to talk a certain language, which you can't talk which when you're sitting with your friends on a sofa and watching cricket, right? So that took a lot of learning on the job as well. And the rest of the things I think that I did happened quite organically basis how my life was going.
Yes.
I wrote a book because of Instagram. For all the people who think that Instagram is a negative space, and you know what, there's so much comparison. I don't look at it like that. My algorithm only throws up beautiful quotes every morning. Because I put out quotes every day. Every third post is a quote. So it's pretty much a sort of an analogy for life. What you put out is what you get. Right? So beautiful. Instagram is like that for me. And I used to put out nice stuff, and the commissioning editor of Penguin Random House calls me and says, we'd like you to write a book.
Lovely.
And I'm like, oh, okay. If Penguin is calling me to write a book, why not? Absolutely. So, the other things happened organically, but the tough ones were, the challenging ones were, Shanti. A, because I'd never faced the camera before. B, because in school, I was not the one who'd stand on stage. I'd be the one who'd be playing basketball. I'd be playing squash. I'd be, doing gymnastics. I was not the one who was into all the cultural stuff, see? So lots of firsts happened for me, and I'm very grateful. I look back at this journey. What are we on now? 2025. I started in 1994. 1994, okay, so that's 31 years, and that's a long time in entertainment. I've seen entertainment change over the years, from literally Doordarshan and Z and Star Plus to the number of channels OTTs. We have now, plus the OTTs, plus art cinema. There's just so much happening, and there's social media, which I saw happen right in front of my eyes. So lots has happened in these 31 years, and it's been an incredible journey. And I look back at it with with a smile. I look back at it with gratitude. I look back at it saying, I'm still going strong. I'm still enjoying what I do. I'm still in the world of entertainment. Lots to be thankful for.
But so many things, and all diverse. Like acting is different from sitting, like you said, experts on your right and legends on your left. And then you write a book, and then you are also fitness enthusiast and all of that. So how is it that you manage the stress? Obviously, all of this has not come without its quantum of stress. So how did you do it? I'm sure we all want to adopt some of those techniques.
Well, stress is something that all of us experience, and we all experience it in different ways. All of us have different challenges that cause us to feel stressful. The way, even if I look back at these 31 years, I've had a lot of anger in my life. I've been a very angry person. I used to have a lot of bitterness. There used to be a time when I used to walk into a set, and people would, my husband used to say, Aaj taapman kaisa hai? As in, what's the temperature like? How is she going to be? Is she going to explode? Has she got is it a short fuse today, or do we have a long fuse? I had a lot of anger issues. So my ways of dealing with stress earlier was just to explode. And it was not pleasant for the people around me. And I'm just saying, I've had a journey, and I've also realized along the way that this is not the way to deal with stress. It's not healthy. It's not good for me. It's not good for the people around me. I must tell you, share a sweet little anecdote. I used to, every time I wanted something, I used to mano mannat and give up. So I'd say, I'm going to give up sweet for 1 month, or sweet for 1 year. And once my brother said something to me, he says, you're giving up sweet. That's nice, but it's only benefiting you. And maybe you should give up something and you can do it pretty easily. Maybe you should do something that benefits not just you, but others as well. Try giving up anger.
Oh, wow. Very good.
And I tell you something, I said, okay, that's a good one. I'm going to try giving up anger for 1 month. And that 1 month, oh my God, it was amazing. It was beautiful. Nothing got to me because I just decided. And you know what? It's a thing about making up your mind.
Yes.
It's about deciding in your head that, you know what? I can give up. I can give up anger. And there'd be things, there would be situations that would warrant an upset, that would warrant, me losing my balance, that would warrant the old me exploding, losing my temper.
Yes.
But I just didn't because I had given it up. I said, and you know what? There's a lot to be said about that counting 10 before you react, respond, whatever. So something happens that would otherwise make you lose your cool. You just count to 10, 1 to 10 or 10 to 1 backwards, whatever suits you. And you get that little moment of pause before you react. Then you respond, right?
Yes.
So that 1 month went so beautifully. I must tell you, I was standing on top of I was doing this event for this company called BKT, and I was standing on top of a tire, a huge truck tire. And I was in Bhuj, and it was hot and probably 40 degrees.
Okay.
And I'm wearing this sari, and I'm standing on this tire and hosting an event in the heat, in the direct sunlight. Any other person would have said, what the hell am I doing here? And it's just about a flip of your mindset. It's a change of mindset. I was standing on stage with these cue cards in my hand, sweat trickling down my leg, and I'm thinking to myself, how many other people get an opportunity to stand on a tire, to talk about tires? And I mean, it's a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity. Nobody else gets a chance like this. And I spoke about tires with so much effusiveness and so much gusto, and I felt it and I meant it. And at the end of the event, I have to tell you the owner of the company, he came up to me and he says, you know something, we do events all the time. We've never had anyone stand on a tire and talk about our company the way you did, with so much enthusiasm. After that, they have taken me to Milan twice. They have taken me to Australia. They have taken me to Greece. They have taken me to, so I have done close to 25 or 30 events for them after.
Lovely.
So it was all because I decided to give up anger and feel good about myself and not let anything get to me. And I must tell you that 1 month went on to about 2 months, and then 2 months went on to 3 months, and then something happened and I lost my cool. But I manoed the mannat for 1 month. But what I did realize from all of that is I do have an anger issue.
Yes.
Awareness is the first thing. Awareness is the first. A lot of us go through life, just lashing out at people and not being aware that we're not being kind, that we're not talking to people with respect, or, respect I've always given people, but anger has been an issue. So, awareness is the first thing. Then doing something, action is the next thing. So doing something about it. So I dealt with it by meeting a therapist, speaking to a counselor, because I knew I had an anger issue, and I knew something needed to be done about it. So my coping mechanism, coming back to your question, I know I deviate a lot in questions. I go for a long walk and I come back, but I come back.
But a very important deviation.
Yes, the important part is after some therapy and after some work on myself, you can't call me a person with anger issues anymore. I don't have them because I've really worked hard at it. And eventually I must tell you, it was hypnotherapy that helped me. It was amazing.
Wow.
And hypnotherapy is not what you think it is, guys. It's not like you're lying on a couch with a pendulum in front of you and and you got googly eyes and you're blurting out stuff. It's nothing like that. You are a trained hypnotherapist can take you into a space of such relaxation that you can access memories of yours, access times in your life where you have, where that anger actually comes from, and which you've not been able to process, and you process it and you let go of it, and then it's gone.
It's gone. And it's
So
beautiful.
we have different ways. We have different ways of coping with our anger. I didn't cope with it very well to begin with. I worked on it and I worked on it and I worked on it. The regular therapy, the clinical therapy didn't help me. I used to go just as a band-aid whenever I was feeling amiss to to fix something, but I needed to get to the root of the problem. And one very often needs to get to the root of the problem to actually sort that problem out. So I've had, and the other coping mechanism, the quick fix, is going for a run, lifting some weights, doing a nice workout, because I think that is something that really does let out those happy hormones and gets you feeling good and gets you feeling, top of your game again. So I have many coping mechanisms, but the point is to get to the root of the problem. You need to get to the root of the problem. Yes. You need to process what got you to a place like this in the first place, so that it's not a pattern. Yes. You have to break your patterns.
And like you said, very important to be aware and admit that yes, that is a problem. For a long time we don't admit.
Yes,
that's one of my problems. So
yes,
we really need to.
Awareness is admitting to yourself. First, you need to admit to yourself. And then, yes, of course, you have to admit to others as well. You have to admit to a therapist or a counselor or someone. And then awareness and admission has happened. But none of it counts for anything if there's no action, if you've actually not done anything about it, if you're not noticing that this is what's causing me to go like this, and I need to hold back. I need to respond differently. So you have to be aware. You have to be aware at all times to be able to respond differently from the way you were responding before.
Absolutely. Now there is this other role that you play, and I know that it gives you great joy. We all know that of being a mother. That of being a mother. So can you share, we were just talking down, like you suggested the next one should be parenting or parents and children.
Next one, we come with our kids and we all go crazy downstairs, bowling and on the trampoline and all the rest of it. That's also her circle.
So what have some of your greatest learnings been on parenting as a parent?
Well, firstly, let me tell you, I was married for almost 12 years before I got pregnant. My husband was ready to have kids way before, we did. I was very busy making my career, doing cricket, traveling.
Yes.
And in our business, this is a small little aside, in our business, it's very sad that women have, and I hate this word, but I'm going to use it because it's so offensive, they have a shelf life.
Yes.
That's what people say, like we're products that expire. Anyway, so at that time, in my 30s, I was very insecure and I was like, oh my God, the moment I stop working, the moment I stop accepting work offers and decide to start my family, I'm not going to get any more work after that. And that's why I took my time. And then towards the end of my 30s, I'm thinking to myself, 1 minute. The biological clock is ticking and I do want to be a parent. There's no way there's no way ever that I'm not going to be a parent. I do want to be a parent, but time shouldn't run out. So then I got onto the job and I got pregnant and I became a mom at the age of 39. Okay. I delivered at 39. And honestly, this is not, there are people who choose not to have children, and I wanted to have children, and I'm not saying this as though something is better than something else, but being a parent has been one of the most beautiful experiences of my life. And the kind of work I got to do and the kind of work that came my way after I became a mom was fantastic. And fitness, I got into the world of, I got into fitness proper in 2008. 2011 is when I was, when I got, 2010 is when I was pregnant with my son. 2011 is when I delivered. I'm just saying that having my son and becoming a mother was the best thing I've ever done. And just when I thought I couldn't top that feeling, I adopted a little girl. And there are times when I'm lying on my bed and there's my little girl on my right shoulder and my son lying on my left shoulder. And I am so utterly grateful because I think I am a very privileged a very lucky and a very special person to be an adoptive mother and a biological mother. This feeling is something that I find very hard to put words to and very hard to describe, because here is this little person who came to me at the age of 4. She came to us in the pandemic. She came to me at the age of 4. And she is more like me than my son is. She's got the same curly hair that I used to have at her age. She's the same sporty, energetic, active little girl like I was. She's got this whole tomboy vibe and she dresses like I do. And it's amazing how this 4-year-old girl who came from middle India is now my family, and she's mine, and she's my daughter, and she's a part of my, most inner, she's my family.
True.
And it's such a beautiful feeling. When you're a biological mother, it's lovely because you see parts of yourself in your child. You see the same nose, and you see the same eyes, and you see a same mannerism and a way of talking. But when you see it in another child who's come, who another set of parents made, and who's now yours, oh my God, I am utterly privileged. I feel so lucky and so blessed, and I wish there were more people who would do something like this. When Raj and I were dating, my husband and I were dating, we talk about this. When you're young, you talk about these things. Oh, tell me about what you want in life and what you want to do. And, at that point you say, oh, you know what, I've always wanted to have one and adopt one. And it sounds very cool when you say it as a youngster and the other person gets very impressed. It's another thing to actually go through with it. And honestly, when Veer was a few years old, we talked to Veer about it. And he said, yes, I'd like to have a sister. And then to go through with it, and it's not easy, the putting those papers in, and it took us like close to 2 months collating those papers and filling in those forms and putting it into the system. But oh my God, it is so worth it. If everybody had the same thought, have one and adopt one. Imagine. A lot of people even say this to me. Can you love your adoptive child as much as you love your biological child? I said, I don't know. I can't equate it and I can't put a measure to it. But I know this, that I'm going to give this child a life that is 200 times or 2,000 times better than she had. I mean, you know what? That I'm going to give her a better life. So all in all, it's a win-win situation, isn't it? And they're in my prayers equally. I wish for them equal success. I wish that they, for a while, we took a little while because by the time she came along, he'd grown up a little bit, and then he didn't want a sister. I just pray that I hope they get along, and I hope they love each other, and I hope they have each other's backs. And now I see the two of them, and if Tara's out for a little while, he's like, Mom, where's Tara? I'm missing her. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you God, thank you God, thank you God. Because there was a time in the beginning when she came, he was like, I don't want a sister. Why are we getting one? And I'm like, it's a bit late now. We're going ahead with this. And I told him, listen, let's check in on this. Every week once, we'll see how you're feeling about her. And the second week I said, Veer, what do you think about Tara? And he said, Mom, what I think about Tara is best described in this Drake song. And the lines go like this. She said, do you love me? I told her only partly. I only love my bed and my mama. I'm sorry. God, beautiful. He said that to me, quoted those lines to me, and I'm like, okay, we'll try again next week then. But now there's a proper brother-sister vibe, and there's a lot of love between the two of them, and they will have each other's backs. I know that. Always. And I'm so grateful because, she came along 9 months before my husband passed, and she's there, and we're still a family unit. Yes. And had she not been there, it just would have been Veer and me, and that would have been hard. Been tough. Right now, we're three of us, we're the three amigos, and we have each other's back. And being a parent to both Tara and Veer is just so special. So special.
Lovely. Now, we talked about being a mom, we talked about being an actor, 31 years in the industry.
31 years.
Yes, 31 years. And the cricketing world and so many aspects of balance of daily life. And we all struggle with it also. So how do you maintain your equilibrium between the elusive work-life balance? So how do you maintain your equilibrium?
So here's the thing about, equilibrium, of finding that balance. Firstly, I don't like to use the word working mother. I hate that word. Do we ever say working father? We never say that. So firstly, let's just say working parent. So as a working parent, we want to spend time with our kids and we want to spend time at home. And I used to want to control a lot. And I used to have a lot of guilt when I'd go out to work. Firstly, I realized two things. One is that guilt serves nobody. Guilt is a useless feeling, thought, emotion. It serves nobody. So don't feel guilty. It does nothing for anybody, number one. And two is you can't control everything. You cannot control everything. So how much ever you want to have a grip on things, and I used to be that kind of person. I wanted to do everything. Now, as a single parent, I have no choice but to let go of certain things and know that the systems that I've set in place over the last many years will, work like they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And I would never take help. And we in India is so lovely. Our friends, our family, they want to be ghusod in your life.
Yes.
Isn't that lovely? They want to be in your life. They want to know. They want to be there. They want to know every aspect of what's going on. Let them, because you know what? They're your support system. I live in Mumbai. I have no family in Mumbai.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry to use this much used Instagram phrase, friends like family, but my friends are my family because my mom and dad, they live in Delhi.
Mm-hmm.
My in-laws live in the States. My brother and sister-in-law live in Singapore.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
So we were always a small family, brother, sister, father, mother, okay, and everybody's spread out. Raj's family also lives away. So who is there to help me? My friends are there to help me.
Absolutely.
So there are times, and after my husband's passing, I had a lot of angst and a lot of nervousness every time I'd go out to work, and every time I stayed a night out, I'd have a friend of mine, and that's the kind of friends I have. I'm so lucky, so grateful.
Absolutely.
They would come and sleep in my bed. They would be there in replacement of me while I travel. So that's how it was for the first year and a half. I wouldn't leave my kids for even one night. And if I had a long trip, my mom would fly down from Delhi and she would be there for like 6 days, 7 nights, 6 or 7 nights. And that's how I functioned. Now I've started letting all the processes that I've put into place. I have people the people who've worked with me and worked in my home have been with me for 20 years. Are they not like family? They are like family. So I have to trust, I have to let go of that control and say to myself that, you know what, there's some good I've done.
Mm-hmm.
I treat my people like my family. I treat them with utmost love and respect, and they give that back. They are loving and they take good care of my kids when I'm not there. And what more do I want? So, in answer to your question, coming back, see, I always remember what the question is, even though I take a big detour, that it's important to let go. It's important to let people help you. We have this thing of wanting to take all the burden and all the responsibility and all of it on ourselves. That leads to burnout, Sometimes you've got to say, you know what? There are people who are there to help me. I know that the systems are in place and I have to let go. I used to be, is the term helicopter mom? The one where you're,
It is.
I had everything. I had a finger on everything, remote control. I still have a finger on everything. I know what my kids are doing at this point of time. I know what's going on at home. But I have to let go of some of that control. Because being over here, I can't control everything, right? So for every working parent, There's a lot of juggling that we have to do, and that juggle is a struggle for whatever kind of job you're in, whether you're in a 9 to 5 job or you're in a job like mine where I work a Wednesday, a Friday, a Sunday. All of us have to find a formula for ourselves. And my formula is different from your formula, is different from her formula. Everybody's formula is a little bit different. And in my case, I have to find a different formula every week because I could be working the entire weekend.
Absolutely.
And then what I do is I say, okay, then I make sure that Tara is with a friend of hers and Veer is with a friend of his, and they're sorted. The weekends I'm in town, I make sure I take them for movies and do stuff with them. So I have a formula that's different for the entire, for this week, and it's different for the next week. And everybody else who's a working parent has to find a formula that works. Yes. So that juggle is a little less of a struggle.
So it was important then for you. You were hands-on, but you were also helicopter. And then you just kind of tried to phase out the helicopter and just be hands-on. Because like you said, you still know where your children are, what they're doing.
But you have to.
You have to. Absolutely. Absolutely. And be there for them.
Yes.
But not letting go of the control.
You can't, yes. Because the control will drive you crazy. The control will drive your kids crazy as well, but it'll drive you crazy. That, there are the kind of moms who'll call 6 times and 8 times in the day. I just say, I have some instructions saying, not too much screen time. If he's on the screen too much, give me a call. I'll make that angry call or that upset call and say, listen, off with the screen. So I know when I need to step in, and I know when I need to back off, and I make it work. And some weeks are harder and some weeks are simpler, and that's just the way it is. And the sooner you accept it, the less you resist it, the nicer your life will be.
Lovely. And take the help, basically. Ask for it.
I mean, we have the help. We are the kind of people who love to be in each other's lives. My friends tell me, I'm 1 call away. You want me to come stay the night? I'll stay the night. You want me to come first thing in the morning? I had to travel for my best friend's 50th birthday. It was in Rome. I was away for 3 days. One of my closest friends who's not a parent, but who my kids absolutely love, she moved in. And she stayed for 3 nights and looked after my kids. And I was like, you know what? There are going to be some bending of the rules while she's around because she's like a kid herself. But that's okay. That's okay. And they really look forward to her whenever she comes. And when I go out to time, she says, Pilo's coming? Say, yes, Pilo's coming.
It's important to have a mind at peace then.
Yes.
So, speaking of this, you also spoke of it earlier as a mechanism, saying you go for a run or you work out and all. So obviously you have a very good commitment to fitness, but you've also spoken about how it has helped you build mental resilience and strength. So can you share with us how that came to be and how that helped you through some very, very difficult phases of life?
Well, everybody knows when you exercise, you release those happy hormones, the serotonin and the endorphins and all the rest of it. So that's one part of it. So if there's something that bugs you, something irritating you, you go for a run, you feel better, and that issue doesn't hold that much weight anymore. But I think, when fitness and good health and my wellness journey became a very integral part of my life, it made me not just stronger physically, it made me stronger as a person. There's something to be said about commitment. There's something to be said about showing up every day. There was a time I'd take videos and put them out on Instagram. And now, if I don't put any videos out on Instagram, that doesn't mean I'm not working out. Exercise and commitment and discipline, it counts for a lot when you're doing it when nobody's looking. So this morning, before leaving Mumbai, I had a 1-hour workout. There are times when I take a 6:30 flight, I wake up half an hour early. I can't do a 1-hour workout at that time. At 4 in the morning, I lift some weights. I became a parent a little bit later in life. So I want to be around for my kids. I want to be around for my grandkids. I want to be able to run after them. I want to be mobile. I want to be strong. I want to be able to open jars in my kitchen. I want to be able to pick up my grandchildren. And so I'm thinking about future me. And I tell you this, I lift weights because I want to be a strong person all around. I want to be there. I want to be around.
Yes.
So it's about every single day, and most often it's the same kind of exercise. But there's a lot to be said about consistency. There's a lot to be said about discipline. There's a lot to be said about showing up every day, even though nobody's watching. My son could be sleeping in the room, and I've I opened the bathroom door, and because I have to take a flight, I'm lifting weights before I leave. And I'm doing it because I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it to be a stronger person. This is who I am. And it's genuinely made me, because of this commitment that I have, it's made me, I show up.
Yes.
I am that person. I show up. I show up for the people around me. I show up for my children. I'm there. I'm committed. When you commit to something, it shouldn't be that you only commit to this. So I commit to going to the gym, and I'm a very unreliable person. Otherwise, no. If exercise is your backbone, and fitness and health is your backbone, and you commit to it every day, it kind of permeates into the rest of your life as well. That kind of discipline, and that kind of showing up, and that kind of belief in yourself. I am 53. I don't like to say my age out loud, but I am 53, and I am the strongest and the fittest I've been, I think, ever.
Lovely.
More than in my 30s.
Lovely.
And that's because I lift weights, and that's because I do push-ups, and that's because fitness, discipline, it's all a part of my commitment to myself, to my kids, and to whatever I do.
And this is also one of the reasons why today we're very, very privileged, dear all, that we have Mandira with us at a very momentous time, because you've just announced your co-funding of Full Circle, a mental and emotional wellness platform. Given your commitment to holistic health, this is a very, very obvious next step. So can you tell us a little more about Full Circle, what it will offer, whom is it for, and what in terms of mindfulness and self-care?
Well, first up, I'll say this. You can have a six-pack, you can have really strong glutes, you can have biceps, but none of it counts for anything if you're not okay up here, if you're not okay here, all right? So, in our country, going to a therapist, going to a counselor or psychiatrist still has a little bit of a taboo associated with it, because people say if she's going to a counselor or a therapist, she's broken, she needs fixing. And that is something that needs to change in our country. And I tell you, the first time I went to a therapist was 25 years ago, maybe.
Okay. Wow.
And I had only one therapist number on my phone, and that's because I interviewed her in some show I had done. And that's how I had a number. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have had a number. And I remember telling my mom, I met a therapist, and she said, "Why? What's wrong with you?" I said, "No, nothing's wrong with me. I was just not feeling so good, and I wanted to go to a therapist, meet a therapist." And the thing about going to a counselor, a therapist, a psychiatrist, a psychologist is that person is equipped to help you. That person has, done a course, learned, studied, is equipped to help you, number one. Number two, that person is an outsider. The person who's close to you will say, that person has hurt me, I'm so upset. And your best friend will say, yeah, that person is a piece of whatever. You need to vent, or you need to express to somebody who is outside of your circle, somebody who is objective, somebody who's equipped to help you, someone who can show you a mirror, someone who can give you a perspective. So I have been talking about mental health for the longest time, and then the Full Circle, it happened. The founder is sitting right here. She's at the back wave. That's Nupur. It was, her idea, her brainchild, and I am so happy to be a co-founder on something like this, because this is it's a health and it's a mental health and wellness platform. We've got very well trained psychiatrists, psychologists, counselors, therapists on board, and therapy is not just about having one hour call with a therapist.
Yes.
Sometimes, like I said, you need to go a little bit deeper. You need to have a few sessions, because it's like, it's not about putting a Band-Aid.
Yes.
Yeah? Something goes wrong, you put a Band-Aid, and for the moment it's okay. But you need to get to the root of where that pain comes from.
Absolutely.
And so it's nice that things have changed over the years, and every organization, I go and talk at so many corporate, for so many corporates, every organization also has a hotline, has counselors, has people you can talk to whenever things, there are many stresses that people go through in their work life as well. So there's someone you can talk to. I think, and that's what the Full Circle wants to also do, wants to start a curriculum that you talk about mental health, teach it at the school and college level.
Okay.
That's where it needs to start. Because right now, even now people say, "Arey, wo to therapist jaati hai, counselor ke paas jaati hai, dimag kharab hai uska."
Yes.
And that's not how it should be. Mental health should be something that can be talked about openly. Mental health should be discussed. It should be out in the open. It should be aired. Teachers should talk about it. Children should talk about it. And there should be no taboo associated with it. And the more platforms there are, like the Full Circle, where you can reach out to somebody who's equipped to help you, who's trained to help you, the happier we'll all be.
Absolutely.
Okay? We need all of us at any given point of time have gone through dark phases in our life. I had a lot of grief I had to deal with, and when there are things you can do to distract yourself, but if you don't deal with it and don't process your grief, it comes up in different ways. So parents should be open. If teachers say, your child needs counseling, parents should be open for that. They should that taboo needs to be taken away. And the more awareness there is on mental health, importance of mental, how many cases where you open the newspaper, you look at social media, there are, shocking bits of news of people committing suicide, and it's just about being able to talk to somebody, about airing what you're feeling. If you can't do it with a counselor, first do it with a friend. Okay, first talk to somebody. That's important. If something is amiss, if something is not feeling right, talk to somebody. And better if you can talk to somebody who's a counselor or a therapist, someone who can help you. So I'm just saying, it's a long time coming, and I think now that it's here, and the fact that we have platforms like the Full Circle, I think people should feel no apprehension about reaching out, because whenever something is amiss, say something is amiss for a day, and you can go for a workout and it goes away, great.
Fair enough.
Then it was not something that bothered you. It was not something that ran very deep. If there's something that troubles you for a period of time, reach out.
Please.
And reach out to the people who can help you. The Full Circle is an online platform, so you can register with any of the counselors on board, and we've got a lovely team of counselors and therapists, and whoever's reached out has reached out for multiple sessions.
Yes.
So take the help. Like I said, even when you're parenting, you need to take the help.
Yes.
Even in life, when we hit a roadblock and we feel stuck and we feel uninspired and we feel unhappy for a period of time, take the help.
Absolutely. And again, it's about knowing, this is what I need to do, and work on the taboo, because we've all seen the taboo. I think it's time to shed it now. And we've been learning, listening about the journey.
Sorry to interrupt you for a minute. 21 years ago, when I had that one number on my phone, now my mom, who first said to me, why are you doing therapy? recently she called me and said, oh, Mandu, a friend of mine, she's, dealing with a lot and she needs a counselor. Do you have any numbers? I was like, Mom, you want a spiritual counselor? Do you want a clinical therapist? Do you want a psychiatrist? Do you want a psychologist? Tell me. Just tell me. I have a list.
Beautiful. We don't need the yellow pages. We have you.
Yes.
Okay, then, like Samit, I was just saying that we've been listening to your experiences so far, learning, being enamored. Can you tell us a little bit about what's on Mandira's plate in the near future?
I put it out into the universe that I want to be now doing things that are more meaningful. I want to be connected with startups. Full circle happened. I'm also a brand ambassador for a very nice, healthy mithai company. I mean, I love sweet, but I've given up sugar. So I can still eat mango kalakand and, feel good, feel good eating it, along with my exercise. So I want to be a part of some more startups. I want to do some more entrepreneurial work, and I have got something in the pipeline for in terms of a short film.
Lovely.
Yes. So, I mean, that's happening in the near future. What I enjoy the most, you asked me at the beginning of this conversation, what is it that you find most challenging? I'm going to tell you what I find most enjoyable is when I get a chance to sit and speak to audiences, and I love anything that's live. I love, when I'm talking and I see, interest in people's faces. I can't tell you how much that makes me happy, how happy that makes me. I can see how engaged everybody is. So from the cricket, which was unnerving because, I didn't, I was learning a lot on the job. So that was live, to something like this where I'm addressing live audiences. This is what I enjoy the most because it's just, there's so many moving parts, and it's so, you don't know how it's going to turn out when the evening starts or when the conversation starts, and when it's going really well. And I really enjoy this. This is what I enjoy the most. So I do speaking engagements like this probably maybe 7-8 times a month.
Lovely.
I still host, and I get to do a lot of lovely. I'm coming back to Pune for the IPL final. I'm going to be doing it for a corporate over here. So my work continues, my life continues, and every week of mine looks different from the last week. I do a lot of different brand work, and a lot of I do a play as well. So I mean, my week, like I said, I have to find different formulas for every week. My week today, this week is different from my next week, is different from my next week. So I love that there's no monotony in my job. I love that when I started with Shanti, it was 24 days a month. I was literally going to the office every day and punching a card. And now I'm doing something different every single day I step out for work. So I'm very grateful. I mean, it just, I love what I do, and that's what drives me.
And really, you are in your true element when you're here. You're looking at first-hand reactions. You're really in your true element. As we come to a close, in keeping with your upbeat nature and choosing joy in life, which is very important, we'd love for you to share with our Femina Circle members a few very doable tips, very, very doable tips to handle what life throws their way.
Okay, I'm going to talk about two very, very important things that I learned later in my life, not early in my life, because I was dealing with things differently earlier on in my life. But the first one is self-love. Now, self-love is something that people have a lot of, they mix it up for something else. They mix it up and confuse it for selfishness.
Yes.
And self-love and selfishness are two completely different things. The thing about self-love is it has two aspects to it. One is, self-love is be kind to yourself. Accept yourself with all that makes up you. I wouldn't even want to say flaws, but all that makes up you. So Be kind to yourself. Don't criticize yourself. If you made a mistake, I used to really beat myself up every time I used to make a mistake, or things didn't go my way, or I, messed up on something. I would just, keep on at myself. And that's very unkind, because we are so much kinder to other people than we are to ourselves. So be kind to yourself. Self-love, the first aspect of that is be kind to yourself. Treat yourself with love, respect, and the mistakes you make, be kind and say, okay, I made a mistake, but I'm going to move on.
Yes.
The second aspect of self-love is that you take a little time out for yourself, be it half an hour or 45 minutes, to meditate, to exercise, to do yoga, to read, to go for a run, to do what makes you happy. Do more of what makes you happy is not just something you see on Instagram. It is something that is really very valuable. Do more what makes you happy, because when you are happy and you are feeling good and you're feeling, pleased, and you've done something nice for yourself, you filled up your cup.
Yes.
And you cannot pour, because as a woman, we have to be there as a parent. We have to be there as a daughter. We have to be there as a sister. We have to be there as a professional, as a friend. You can't pour from an empty cup. So fill up your cup every day. Do something kind to kind for yourself. Do something that you enjoy. Do something that you love, so that you can fill your cup, so that you can be there you can be the best version of yourself. You can be the best wife. You can be the best mother. You can be the best daughter. You can be the best professional. You can only do that when you take care of yourself. So self-love. These two aspects of self-love, very, very important. I learned it very late in my life, but now that I know it, I do more of what makes you happy is very, very important. The second thing is, I have a superpower, and so do you. You just have to activate it. The superpower is called gratitude. I wake up every single morning, and before I open my eyes, I say thank you for the roof over my head, thank you for the food on my table, thank you for my children's health, thank you for my parents' health, thank you for my able body that I can work, thank you for this job I have today, or thank you for this day, even if there's no job today, but thank you for this lovely day, and I'm so grateful. And you say these things before you open your eyes. That is like looking at life through a pair of gratitude glasses, through the lens of gratitude.
Yes.
And honestly, this saying, this little line I've heard, which I can't attribute to anyone, but it holds so much meaning to me. Whenever and wherever there is gratitude, whenever you're feeling truly grateful and feeling it, not just saying it, feeling it. I'm like right now, I'm feeling so grateful that I'm sitting with you and sitting with all of you and talking to all of you. When you're feeling truly grateful, I can't at this point of time feel unhappy.
Yes.
I can't feel negative. I can't feel depressed. I can't feel sad. So whenever you're feeling gratitude from really the pit of your stomach or your heart or wherever you feel it from, whenever you're feeling grateful, you can't be unhappy and angry and upset at the same time. So gratitude is like a superpower. And whenever you find things going a little awry and things are not going as you want them to, and you're feeling upset, try and shift your focus to things that are going well for you, things that are going right for you, things that you do feel happy about, things that bring a smile to your face. So if something is not gone right or the way I wanted to, I think about my kids, and I think about my dog, and I think about my home, and I think about, dinner. So I think about nice things, and it's just one shift.
Yes.
One small shift can take you from a negative space to a positive space. And so if you focus on what is rather than what isn't. During the pandemic, there's that song. That's the one that played a lot in my head. Thoda hai, thode ki zarurat hai. So, we used to complain that we can't go out and we can't meet our friends and we can't party and we can't meet in groups and we can't do this and we can't do that. But then I'd say to myself, we're spending time with our family. We don't get time to spend time with our family. We are in our homes. There are people who don't have homes. We have a roof over our heads. What do we work for? We work for a roof over our head and food on our table. We want to give our children a good life. That's what we want to do.
Yes.
And when that is taken care of, everything else is a bonus. So look at what you have. Thoda hai, thode ki zarurat hai. That's all we need in life. So the pandemic actually taught me to be very, very grateful. And that's how I live my life. I live my life in gratitude. So even though my father's not very well at this point of time, but his treatment is going well.
Yes.
So I am focusing on the fact, not the fact that he's unwell, but I'm focusing on the fact that his treatment is going well.
Yes.
So you focus on what is as opposed to what isn't. And that is a wonderful way of looking at life, because everything, that you look at, when you look at through a lens of gratitude, you'll only see the good.
Absolutely.
So.
And so many things resonate, so many things. I was not supposed to be here today, but today I think I was meant to be, because so many things resonate, and it's just about the flip, just about the flip of your, the way you view it. And all that you said, right from Doordarshan to gratitude, so many things I'm just vehemently nodding, because same. And a lot of things can change still. And there's a lot of scope.
Happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice. You can choose to be happy or you can choose to be unhappy. You can choose to see the good in every situation, or you can choose to say, you know what, I focus on only the bad. And you know what, there are times when when a negative thought keeps persisting, and I just tell my brain, I said, listen, my parents call me Mandu. I call my brain Bandhu. You have to be my friend. Bandhu, get me a better thought.
Yes.
Because this one's not working. I send it away. Okay, so you can choose to be happy. Happiness is something that comes from within. Happiness is something you create, and happiness should not be based on anything outside of yourself. Happiness is an inside job.
Yes.
Yes. I wrote a book. I'm not doing it to plug my book. I'm just telling you, I called it Happy for No Reason. And the truth is, it's not like I'm happy for no reason all the time, but I want to be.
Yes.
It's an intent I put out every day. We base our happiness so much on things outside of ourselves. Today, I'm going to go for an event. Today, I'm going to go to Pune. Something to look forward to. Today, I'm going to get to wear this. Or today, I'm going to meet my friends. But we have to find happiness without a reason.
Yes.
You have to wake up and be happy without reason. You have to find that joy within. So happiness is a choice. You can choose to be happy. You can choose to be unhappy. I choose happiness.
Lovely. So, yes. Thank you for so generously sharing with us those insights. I hope that we're all, affected by this positivity and trying to look for happiness and going to at least start our mornings with that much gratitude of what we have. Thode ki zarurat hamesha rehne wali hai, but that will keep coming by, right? Right. Thank you so much.
The more you
Mandira.
appreciate what you have, the more there is to appreciate. Honestly. Today, if I have to say 10 things right here on the spot, I'm going to say I'm appreciative of you and the wonderful chat we've had and this conversation. I'm appreciative of you as the audience. I'm appreciative of the fact that the weather held up, that I could make it to Pune. I'm appreciative of the fact that, my kids are, excited and are waiting for me. I'm appreciative of tomorrow, which is going to be another day I look forward to. I mean, you can on the spot come up with 20 things to be
absolutely
appreciative of. The more you appreciate, the more there is to be appreciated.
Lovely. And now, please, a huge round of applause, please. And now, our dear members, we have a few questions that we have from you. So we won't be able to, we really do have a little paucity of time. We won't be able to take all. We're going to take a few, but we will surely take the others in other sessions to come. But for now, I request the person, I will say out the name loud, and I request the person to stand while I take your question. So we have a Rohini Patil. The question is with me, but at least say a hi.
Hi, Rohini.
At least Mandira knows where the question, we all know where the question is coming from. So her question is that, Mandira, you are known for breaking stereotypes, even in the fitness space. What myths about women's fitness would you love to bust once and for all?
Once and for all, I'm going to bust. I was going to say bust the myth, bust the myth that weightlifting is not for women. Weightlifting is the best thing you can do. Weightlifting is what women should do more than men because we have our bone health is on the decline from age 30 onwards. So I've met osteopaths and they've said to me, yes, you can take calcium supplements and all the rest of it, but the thing that you can do that's best for your bones is lift weights. And when you lift weights, you're giving a gift to your future self. You'll be there, you'll be, our parents used to be not very mobile. Our parents are more mobile because they understood exercise.
Yes.
We are going to be more mobile and more fit and more active than them because we know about weight training and we know about these various forms of exercise and we exercise. So I'm going to say that lifting weights doesn't bulk you up. Lifting weights doesn't make you look bigger. Lifting weights can give you amazing tone. Lifting weights can give you, a lot of lean muscle, and lifting weights can make you look the best you've ever looked. So that's the myth I want to bust. Lift weights.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Mental health and wellness. We run a school which is called as Dr. D.Y. Patil Public School, and we have over 900 students, and we have a full team of psychologists. And
Full circle is coming to you.
Please do.
Yes.
Please do. And I would love to share that our children in their assembly every day do 2 minutes of meditation. They do gratitude practice and affirmations every day for all the days in school.
I think a big round of applause is due here because this is the way to go. This is what every school should adopt, and I congratulate you, and the Full Circle team can learn from you.
Please do. Please do come anytime.
Thank
Thank you for that.
Do we have a Seema Tanwar?
Yes.
So, Mandira, question is that you are an inspiration to so many. But what or who truly inspires you?
I think my children inspire me, and they are my reason to wake up every morning and do something wonderful and have a great day, and they are my reason to be positive. They are my reason to work hard. They are my reason to I want to give them a good life.
Yes. Beautiful.
So my children are my inspiration, and they are the reason I wake up every morning and have the drive and energy that I do. I'm very grateful for them.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think I really love the way you said, you choose to be happy, because when you choose to be happy, I think life throws excuses at you. 10 excuses at you that you got to be happy. So I think it's a full circle in itself that when you choose to be happy, you will get excuses to be happy.
That's right.
And that was my question, that who inspires you more than what? Because what you already addressed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lovely. Do we have a Leena Khandelwal? Hi. Leena's question to you, Mandira, is that we've loved watching you on TV. So could you share with us some memorable moments, or maybe like an anecdote or two from your experience of hosting the ICC Cricket World Cup and the IPL?
Okay, I'm going to tell you one very funny moment when India and Pakistan were playing and we beat them, because India always beats Pakistan in ICC tournaments. So, of course, we were like, this was the 2003 World Cup. We won, it's happened, and there was a big part. We were staying in South Africa at the time, and there were these apartments, serviced apartments we were staying in, and Raj, my husband, was coming down from Bombay that day, and he brought a big thing of biryani, and we had a big party, and it went on till pretty late at night, even though next morning we had an early morning. And next morning I was sitting on the panel, and there were some commentators who were sitting in another stadium. And you do a conversation from one stadium to the studio, and the studio to the stadium. And the two commentators directed a question straight at me, saying, Mandira, we know how happy you are that India beat Pakistan in the match yesterday. So how did you celebrate? What level of celebration did you have? And I was not expecting that question. And the red light of the camera is on me, and I'm looking at it and said, I can't tell you because this is a family channel. And I'm like, what did I just say?
Oh my God.
It sounds really bad. But the thing about doing anything live is words once uttered cannot be taken back. So I left it to their imagination to think whatever they had to. But those are the words that came out. I'm sorry, I can't tell you. It's a family channel. It left a lot to the imagination. But we just had to change the topic and move on quickly. But that happened. And there used to be this thing on midday called Mandira Monitor.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to give me scores out of 10 for what I wore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was quite entertaining for me and for people, I guess. So after that particular incident, they didn't want to give me a rating out of 10 for my clothes. They just said, for what she said to Mark Nicholas, we give her a 10 out of 10.
Beautiful.
Amazing, wow. Mandira, it was amazing sharing with you. And I just want to say one thing, ki you said one thing very clearly, just quit your anger. Because I'm also working from so long, and many times it happens ki because of family, because of friends and work, you are having loads of pressure. And many times it happens ki you get angry also. And I realized one thing ki I'm going to take commitment ki I'm going to leave my anger at least for a week.
Yes,
From today
start
onwards.
with a week.
So at least start.
Correct. Start with a week and you'll enjoy the week so much. You'll say one more week and one more week.
Right.
It's like that with weight loss also. Don't say I have to lose 10 kilos. You say I have to lose 1 kilo. And then when you lose 1 kilo, you say, wow, that felt good. How about the second kilo? It's like that with anger also. 1 week, I give up anger.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't go away, then please meet a therapist. Just saying.
Yeah, I really liked it. And my husband will be the more happiest person.
Exactly.
Oh God.
So when you mano these mannats, don't just do it for yourself. Do it for someone, people around you. They'll also benefit.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, dear. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's really wonderful. Thank you so much for even answering the questions that our members had for you. And as we wind up, I want to also remind the Femina Circle members about the calendar of events we have coming up, including inspiring sessions like this one on finance, investment and legal matters, workshops in styling with confidence and tea tastings with a sommelier, luxury car experiences and gourmet dining opportunities. So we know that you will enjoy all of this, and thank you so much for being a part of Femina Circle. Thank you so much everyone who's present here. You've battled the weather, including Mandira. All of us have battled the weather. We are here. We have heard. Accept it, be happy for it. Every morning when I'm cursing my hair, I'm like, but at least baal to hai.
Exactly.
I'm not kidding. With the amount of stress
Focus on the positives.
Stress we have, it's just shedding, but aaj to hai. So it's just that.
That's right.
So
That's the attitude. Baal to hai to worry about, frizzy or otherwise.
So thank you so much. And now, Mandira, our circle members would love to get a photo with you. So I'm going to turn this over to Ekta and Chanda to coordinate this and everyone who's aware. So please.